There comes a time in life when you must silence the noise, drown out the endless comparisons, and look inward with unshakable clarity. Too often, we become prisoners of the world's opinions, chained by what others think, consumed by what others do, measuring our worth against a standard that was never meant for us. But life is not about racing someone else's race. It's about discovering the rhythm of your own heartbeat, the path carved for your soul, the greatness buried within you. When you focus on others, you dim the fire that was meant to blaze within yourself. But when you turn your gaze inward, when you water your own garden, when you build in silence and move with intention, you become unstoppable. You see, the world will always try to pull your attention away from yourself. It will whisper doubts. It will show you distractions. It will tempt you with the illusion that someone else's journey is better, faster, or more glamorous than your own. But the truth is simple. No one can live your life for you. No one can fulfill your purpose for you. No one can write your story except you. The greatest tragedy is not failing. It is living life as a shadow of someone else, instead of becoming the masterpiece you were destined to be. So focus on yourself. Focus on your growth. Focus on your dreams, your discipline, your character, your vision. Stop looking sideways. Stop wasting energy watching others. While you're busy comparing, your time is slipping away. While you're busy envying, your own blessings are being neglected. While you're busy measuring someone else's success, you're losing sight of the mountain you were meant to climb. Understand this. Success does not come from imitation. It comes from authenticity. Power does not come from copying. It comes from creating. Peace does not come from chasing others. It comes from knowing who you are and walking boldly in that truth. The journey is not about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. That is the only comparison worth making. And when you truly focus on yourself, you discover that the opinions of others lose their grip on your spirit. You no longer need validation, applause, or approval because you are fueled by something deeper, a burning purpose that no one can take from you. And when you live in that state of focus, you inspire others without even trying. You become a living example of what happens when a soul chooses to rise above distraction and embrace destiny. Comparison is the thief of joy, yet it is also one of the easiest traps to fall into. From the moment you wake up, the world places a mirror in front of you, not to reflect who you are, but to show you who you are not. You scroll through endless images of people flaunting success, beauty, wealth, and achievements. And without realizing it, you begin to measure your life against theirs. You start believing that their highlight reel defines reality, while your quiet struggles somehow mean you are behind. But the truth is, no one shares the full story. No one reveals the scars beneath the smile. No one shows the nights of doubt, the years of work, the tears shed in silence. When you compare, you diminish your own path. You forget that your life was written with a different pen, on a different canvas, for a different purpose. The moment you understand that no two journeys are meant to be the same is the moment you will taste true freedom. You see, when you measure your progress against someone else's, you rob yourself of appreciation for how far you've come. Think of a flower blooming in a field. One flower may rise in spring, another in summer, yet both carry the same beauty, the same value, the same purpose to bloom in their own time. Would you tell the summer flower it failed because the spring one blossomed first? No. You admire each for what it is. The same is true for your life. Your journey does not lose value simply because someone else seems further along. In fact, the only measure that matters is whether you are moving closer to the best version of yourself today compared to yesterday. That is the victory worth striving for. When you stop comparing, you reclaim your focus. Energy, once wasted on jealousy and doubt, transforms into fuel for your own growth. Instead of watching someone else run their race, you tighten your shoes and start running yours with conviction. Every ounce of strength goes into building yourself, improving your skills, sharpening your mind, and strengthening your character. Suddenly, their pace doesn't matter. Their achievements don't shake you, because you realize your timeline is uniquely yours. You are not behind, you are not late, you are exactly where you need to be to learn the lessons meant for you right now. Comparison also clouds gratitude. How often do you overlook your blessings because you are too busy counting someone else's? You forget the roof over your head, the food on your table, the people who love you, the health you wake up with, because you are staring at someone else's possessions, thinking they shine brighter. But when you pause and reflect, when you open your eyes to what you have, gratitude flows in like light through a window. That gratitude shifts everything. It changes your mood, your energy, your perspective. You stop asking, why don't I have what they do, and start saying, I am thankful for what I've been given, and I will make the most of it. Gratitude is the antidote to comparison, and when you walk in gratitude, you discover that you already carry enough to start building the life you desire. The greatest truth is this: no one can live your story but you. No one can carry your lessons. No one can fulfill your purpose. No one can stand in the exact shoes you stand in. Your life is yours alone, designed with precision, carrying experiences meant only for your growth. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you allow yourself to fully step into that design, to embrace the unique calling that whispers to your soul, to walk boldly without apology in the direction you were created to go. Consistency is the quiet force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is not about grand gestures, nor is it about sudden bursts of effort that fade away with time. Consistency is about showing up every single day, even when no one is watching, even when the results are invisible, even when the weight of doubt presses heavily on your shoulders. It is about committing to your growth with patience and discipline, brick by brick, step by step, knowing that greatness is not built overnight, but through the steady accumulation of effort. The world glorifies talent, but talent without consistency becomes wasted potential. The real power lies in doing the small things well, over and over, until they shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and unshakable. Think about this. A river does not carve through stone because of its strength in a single moment. It carves through stone because it flows endlessly, never stopping, never giving up. That same principle applies to your life. You will never achieve your fullest potential if you give up halfway, if you only work when it's convenient, if you only commit when motivation is high. Consistency demands that you keep pushing, even when it's boring, even when progress feels slow, even when your heart wonders if it's worth it. And yet, in those moments of doubt, in those seasons where the reward is not visible, your discipline becomes your guiding star. The person who stays consistent will always outlast the person who burns bright for a moment and then fades away. Building consistency requires you to shift your mindset from seeking instant results to trusting the process. Too many give up because they plant seeds today and expect a forest tomorrow. But life doesn't work that way. Growth requires patience, nurturing, and the humility to endure seasons where nothing seems to change. The gym sessions where you don't see results, the hours of study where you feel like you're not improving, the late nights working toward a vision that no one else understands, those are the hidden moments that compound over time into mastery. When you stay consistent, you create momentum, and momentum creates breakthroughs. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you follow through on what you said you do, you strengthen your confidence and self-respect. You begin to realize that you can rely on your own word, that you are not just a dreamer, but a doer. On the other hand, every time you break your own commitments, you weaken that trust. You make it harder to believe in yourself, and you allow doubt to take root. That is why consistency is not just about building habits. It is about building character. It is about proving to yourself that you are capable of following through, no matter the obstacles, no matter the distractions, no matter the pace of others. And here's the beauty of it. Once you embrace consistency, you no longer need to chase motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. But consistency anchors you. It keeps you steady when your emotions rise and fall, when excitement fades, when the path becomes difficult. It teaches you that success is not found in how you feel in the moment, but in what you do despite how you feel. That is the secret of all who achieve great things. They didn't just wait for inspiration. They created it through disciplined action, repeated daily, until it became part of who they are. Consistency may seem ordinary, but it is in the ordinary repetition of effort that extraordinary results are born. It is not glamorous, it is not easy, but it is always worth it. Because when you look back after years of steady growth, you will see that every small act of discipline, every quiet moment of persistence, every unseen effort has built you into someone you once only dreamed of becoming. Protecting your energy and peace is one of the most powerful acts of self-mastery you can ever embrace. The world is loud, chaotic, and relentless in its demands. It will drain you if you let it, pulling you in 100 different directions, distracting you with noise, feeding you negativity, and surrounding you with people who have no intention of lifting you higher. If you are not careful, you will spend your days exhausted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from yourself. Not because you lack strength, but because you allowed everything around you to consume what was meant to be preserved. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it is essential. It is the foundation that allows you to build, to grow, and to thrive without burning out. When you begin to protect your energy, you start by recognizing who and what deserves access to it. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Not every battle deserves your fight. Not every opinion deserves your response. Too often, people waste their most valuable resource, their inner peace, on things that do not matter. They argue to prove points. They chase validation from those who do not care. They engage in drama that leaves them empty. Imagine pouring clean water into a glass, then watching as someone sprinkles dirt into it, a little each day. Over time, the water is no longer drinkable. That is what happens when you let negativity, toxic relationships, and distractions pollute your spirit. The more you allow, the more your peace erodes. Protecting your energy means guarding your glass fiercely, deciding carefully what and who gets to add to it. It is not about building walls. It is about setting boundaries. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about keeping yourself whole. When you say no to things that drain you, you are saying yes to your growth. When you distance yourself from environments that suffocate you, you are making room to breathe. When you cut ties with people who constantly pull you into cycles of negativity, you are giving yourself the freedom to rise higher. The people who truly value you will never be offended by your boundaries, and those who are offended were never meant to stay. Protecting your energy also means being mindful of what you feed your mind. Every word you listen to, every story you consume, every thought you allow to linger is shaping you. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, gossip, and hopelessness, do not be surprised when your heart feels heavy. But when you choose to fill your mind with positivity, wisdom, and inspiration, you find strength even in difficult seasons. Protecting your peace is not about denying reality, but about choosing what kind of reality you build inside yourself. You cannot control everything that happens around you, but you can control what you allow to take root within you. Silence, Solitude and stillness are also powerful ways to protect your peace. In a world that glorifies constant noise and endless activity, the ability to step back, breathe, and reconnect with yourself is a rare strength. Some people fear silence because it forces them to face themselves, but true growth requires it. When you spend time alone with your thoughts, you learn to listen to the whispers of your soul. You discover clarity in the quiet. You realize that peace does not come from the absence of problems, but from the presence of alignment, when your actions, your values, and your inner self all move in harmony. And remember this, not everyone will understand your decision to protect your energy. Some will call you distant, others may call you selfish, but those labels only reveal their inability to respect your path. Protecting your peace is not about pleasing others. It is about preserving your power. When your spirit is calm, when your mind is clear, when your energy is strong, you can face any storm without being broken. You become unshakable, not because the world is easier, but because you are centered, grounded, and untouchable from within. Trusting the timing of your journey is one of the hardest yet most liberating lessons life will ever teach you. We live in a world that glorifies speed, that measures success by how quickly you achieve it, that pressures you to hit milestones by a certain age, as if life were a race with fixed checkpoints. You're told you should have achieved this by 20, built that by 30, secured everything by 40, and when you look around and see others moving faster, reaching goals you have yet to touch, the weight of impatience begins to crush you. But what if I told you that your timing was never meant to look like theirs? What if I told you that the delays, the detours, the pauses, and even the failures are not punishments but hidden parts of your preparation? Trusting your timing means surrendering the need to control every outcome and believing that your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Think of a tree. Some grow quickly, stretching tall within a few years, while others take decades before they even bear fruit. Yet when the fruit finally comes, it is abundant, rich, and worth the wait. The tree was not late. It was simply preparing in silence, strengthening its roots, waiting for the right season. The same is true for you. Just because you haven't seen the harvest yet doesn't mean the seeds you planted aren't growing. Trusting the timing of your journey requires faith. Faith that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Faith that your efforts will bear fruit at the right moment. Faith that every chapter, even the slow ones, are shaping you into someone who will be ready when the opportunity arrives. Patience is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the understanding that rushing often leads to mistakes, that forcing doors before you are ready can ruin what could have been beautiful if allowed to unfold naturally. Life has a way of protecting you from what you are not yet prepared for. Sometimes the very thing you think you are waiting too long for is being held back because it would destroy you if you had it too soon. Trusting your timing is about embracing this truth. What is delayed is not denied, and what is for you will always find its way to you when you are ready to carry it. When you stop fighting against time, you free yourself from anxiety and envy. You stop looking at someone else's progress as a reflection of your lack and start recognizing it as a reminder that life unfolds differently for everyone. Someone else's success is not your failure, and your slower pace does not mean you are losing. It simply means your story is being written with different details, different lessons, and different timing. If you compare, you will always feel behind. But if you trust, you will realize you are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment, learning what you need for the road ahead. Trusting the timing of your journey also gives you peace with your past. Every setback, every mistake, every closed door, even the heartbreaks, they were not accidents. They were teachers. They were preparing you for wisdom, resilience, and depth that could not have been formed any other way. You begin to see that nothing was wasted, that even your detours carried meaning. And when you look back from a place of faith, you see how the pieces fit, how the struggles built you, how the waiting seasons taught you patience and strength. The truth is, life does not unfold on your schedule, but it always unfolds on time. Your task is not to rush the journey, but to walk it with consistency, gratitude, and trust. Because when the right moment arrives, it will make sense. The doors will open with ease. The opportunities will align. The people you need will appear. And you will realize that the timing was never late. It was perfect all along.